Welcome back. My name's Jessica from Jessica's Craft Time, and today we're with our Stampin' Up products doing a card, and this is what we're going to be creating. It's 3D, a little bit inspired by Steampunk, but I've cut everything out, so I'll explain what I'm using as I'm going. So I'll leave that one there. We've got our card base in Whisper White. This is cut at 14. I do about 14.85, not quite 14.9, not 14.8, and then score at 10.5. And then this one here is cut at 14.3 by, no, 14.7 by 10.3, and it's just our black cardstock. So we're just going to glue that on. And I've chosen to go red and black and silver. I just like red and black together, so that's why I've chosen that. Alright, so we're just going to stick that on. That's just going to give us a slight little border. And then from there, let me just grab all my little pieces out. I've cut just small Whisper White cardstock. This one, we're just using our Tombow Multi-Purpose liquid glue. This one's cut at 9 centimeters by 12, but you could do sort of whatever size you like. I just sort of picked a random size, and I'm just going to place that down in the bottom corner with a little bit of a border. I like to give it a good sort of flatten down. Then I've got two more pieces here, which is our black, which is cut at 7 by 10 centimeters, and our red is 5 by 11. I'm just going to stick the black on the red. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on our red here for our black to overlap so they stick together. And hold that down. Now for this, you could use, what is it called, our foam adhesive strips, because they're quite long, but I'm just going to use up the border of, hang on 2 seconds, sorry, I'm just going to use up the border of our dimensionals. So I'm just going to cut it here and use a strip. So I want this one up on with a little bit of height, and then I'm just going to put some dimensionals on there as well. Bear with me because I need to get some more out. Because I've used up the last of that one. Now you sort of can't interchange the mini ones with the normal size dimensionals because they are slightly different in height. So I'm just going to snip this border off and use this border as well for here, and just place a couple of extra dimensionals. We're putting a fair bit extra on this one, so I just want to make sure it has lots of height. It has lots of support, because everything else is going to build on top of this. If you only put a little bit on, then you might find that it sags with the weight of everything else, and when you're pressing down to put pressure on to adhere all the other extra bits and pieces. So like I said, you can use the foam strips. I was just using up the edges of my adhesives, my dimensionals. So I don't like to really waste anything if I can avoid it. So we're just going to put that on there. Alright, so the next thing that we did, I used our Garage Gears dies, and I'll show you what all those dies look like. They pair with the Geared Up Garage stamp set, and there's all your dies. So these ones cut out the can and the oil, the car and the oil can, the some of the words and sentiments, and there's a little bit of a bubble there, and you've got all these gears. So I've just used all the gears, and what I did is I went and cut them out in black, in our real red, and I've got some silver glimmer paper. So I just cut out 2 sets of everything, and then I'm like, whatever I don't use, I'll use for something else. Now with this one, I want to stick this one up here, but this is raised up on dimensional, so I need to put some dimensionals on the edge here. And yet again, I'm just going to use up some little snippets. Which one did I say it was on this one? Little snips from the border of my dimensionals. To raise that up. Now you can get black dimensionals. I don't actually have any, and that would be really good for this project because you would be less likely to see them once they were actually on the card, because we've used quite a lot of black cardstock. I'm just going to use our fine tip glue because I find that's easiest to put small on small bits. You do want to make sure you always cap it. Just remove the paper off these. Now the fine tip glue, I do find that you do need to hold it in place for a little bit longer. So I'm just going to find the spot on the card for that, and I'm just going to put some pressure down. It takes a little bit longer to adhere than what the Tombow Multipurpose does. So I'm just going to flip that card over and put one of my clear blocks on it so it can sit and adhere down. The next one we're going to do is this black one here, which I'm going to put up on dimensionals as it's sort of down and up. That's okay. What I did here was I used just our mini dimensionals. And yet again, what I did was I just went through and cut small slithers of them from the border. What I might do this time, I want to do it all dimensionals, but the bottom bit there, what we might do is we might put, I've got the red from the previous one in there. I might put a double layer on these couple of bottom ones here. So we'll see how we go. Tweezers out. Just to give this a little bit more height, I'm going to double layer it. And we won't worry about those, and then all the rest I'm just going to put a single layer. So I'm just going to find a spot that there's a little bit of space to fit them. They're already sticky. I've taken the backs off them. I just want one more. So I find the pointy diamond painting tweezers really good for this as well. So another use for all the pointy tweezers you get in your kits. Come on. You can also colour your backing paper on your dimensionals, and that makes it a little bit easier to see where you've taken them off from. Okay, I think that's all of them off now. Alright, let's turn our card back over. So, this one's going down here. Oops, I didn't. Oh well, I should have. Let's see if I can get it up. Wait, I didn't stick it down. Oh no, it's pulled the red. Okay. I want to try and. So the gears are locked in. Yeah, that looks better with the double dimensionals there. Just gives it a bit more height. And then from there, I just went and picked different ones that I had. So I've got my silver, my black, and my red. Yet again, I love using all my extra little trays for, I want a sort of bigger one there, for using to keep my little bits and pieces in when I'm card making. They don't have to be perfect, so just pick ones that you want. And I'm just mixing up the different colours. This will have to be a solid silver. I might put a black up there too. A little bit different. There you go. So from there, we're just going to get out. I'm going to use my Tombow this time, because these have a bigger section in the middle of them that you can glue down. They're not quite as fine as the big ones. Just going to push that glue out so it doesn't seep too much. And I don't mind that some of the wheels and cogs and whatever the little bits are called stick up. It just gives it a little bit more dimension, as long as the piece actually stays down when it's glued. These ones are easy. That red one, actually, let's put that red one on a dimensional as well. This one I should probably use my fine tip, but this will work too. This one I'm going to throw up on a dimensional. Because why not? Why not? Alright, so that's the background of the card done. And now I'm going to do the sentiment. So I've just got a little bit of Whisper White cardstock. And for this, I did some heat embossing. So you want to get your Budy, and that stops the static on from the embossing powder. We're using the sentiment out of a Wish for Everything card set. I'm just going to get my embossing powder ready to go. If I can get the lid off it. So the embossing powders come in little tubs. I find switching them out, I've got just a little Tupperware container. I find switching them out into a bigger container easier, because I can shake it straight over that. And you want to use the Versamark, and now the thunder's starting. Hopefully it's not too loud for you. I want to make sure my stamp's nice and wet. You could do this on a stamparatus if you wanted to, because then you could double stamp it. But I'm not, I'm just doing it by eye. Oops. Oh no. Yeah, that looks alright. Now I'm going to grab my other tweezers to make it a little bit easier, because then I won't actually have to let go of them. Sprinkle your embossing, and this is why I like the container. I don't have to worry about protecting my surface or anything. I just sprinkle it straight over and back into the container. Always make sure you seal your container once you've used your powder, because it's really easy to move your heat gun and bam, you've thrown your heat gun at your powder and your powder goes everywhere. And the Versamark is the ink that we're using. Now bear with me, this could be a bit loud. I'm just going to use my heat gun. I always like to heat the back of the paper a little bit. I find it makes the powder turn better and stick better. And I love when that powder turns. So these are not a Stampin' Up! Pair of tweezers. I got them from some craft store. But what I love is because they actually grip. When you're doing things like this, you don't have to keep holding it. This will be hot for a little bit. So it's great. I can just pop it down. It's not going anywhere. And it's done. And I've got embossing powder all over it. So these bits of card here, the red is cut at 3.5 centimeters by 4. My black piece here is cut at 3 by 3.5 centimeters. Now, depending on your sentiment will depend what size you need to cut them. And then my white is cut at 2.5 by 3. That should be soft enough to touch. Cool enough, not soft enough. A little bit of liquid glue on the back. And I don't know, I'm not one for having my sentiments straight. I like to do them a bit crooked. So that's all glued together there. I'm going to use Dimensionals again because I want some height. And I've done 4. You could probably get away with 2, but I've done 4 here because they're sticking on all sorts of different cardstock, the Glimer paper. Just want to make sure it stays. And then I just went in a little bit from the black out, the black that we've got in the back, and stuck that on. And there you go, a steampunk inspired birthday card. This will actually be my husband's birthday card. His birthday's coming up at the end of the month. And it was his idea to do it. So there you go. If you had some silver paper, you could do it all just in different colors. But I love the gears. I love the little bit of glitter from the silver. And just something not so girly and pretty today. So I hope you enjoyed watching that. Stick around for next week. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos. I put a video out every Thursday on a different card or something Stampin' Up! Related. I'm not sure what I'm doing next week. We'll see. We'll see where my mind goes next week. But I hope you all have a very lovely week. And we'll catch you all in the next video. Take care. Bye.